Diesel engine, banned. Petrol, banned. Hybrid petrol, banned. I saw it on a newspaper. What? 2035? They're gonna ban fossil fuels? I was shocked. I refused to believe it. Hello, everyone. Alright, so recently there's been some interesting developments. Europe has passed a decision to ban fossil fuel cars by 2035. 2035, guys. I have mixed feelings about this development, but on the other hand, I feel optimistic. But we're going to cover the optimism for later. First, let's talk about the big picture. Over the past few years, here in Belgium and across Europe, there have been environmental initiatives that have been executed. They've been executed in a fashion where it's gradual. They'll not slam it at your face instantly in one day. They do those changes gradually. So, few years in advance, you are warned that this particular diesel engine is going to be banned. And you have to have the initiatives. You need to have the awareness that before this day, you need to get rid of this diesel engine car of yours, or else if you drive in the city with this diesel engine car, you're going to get a fine. Not necessarily done it through banning of diesel engines and old petrol engines. They've also done it through taxing. So the bigger the engine, the higher the tax. But this is a practice that was employed by France especially. Roads here in Europe are one of the best. I'm not going to say they are the best, but they are just one of the best. So we have roads that are in good condition, or at least we try to aim for good conditions. And then also we have roads where there's order. People follow the speed limit. People follow the law. And also we have roads that are built on practicality. So we have roads that are not, well, here in Belgium at least, the roads are built to a point where you just don't have any excuse of having a large vehicle. You can also travel around with a small vehicle and you will still be safe. The only reason you need a large vehicle is if you have a large family. I traveled to France recently, and believe me, it was not a very pleasant experience when it comes to highway networks. No offense to any French watching this, I apologize, but I have to say that in France, it's definitely not the place for large vehicles. I can definitely confirm France has been the most environmental friendly country so far. Their highway system really does penalize large vehicles, and especially when you go to large cities. Oh boy, I went to the city of Reims, which is at the north of France, and I could not even park there. Because for those of you who know by now, I drive a pickup truck, and believe me, Reims was just not the city for a pickup truck. So yes, I learned it the hard way. But you see where I'm getting at, guys? I'm talking about the big picture. Here in Europe, cities have taken increasing initiatives against large vehicles to prevent people from purchasing SUVs, pickup trucks, in general, to prevent people from purchasing large vehicle, to instead buy, and to encourage people to buy small vehicles so that it's cheaper, so that it's more environmental friendly, and there is less fuel consumption. Because the larger the vehicle, the heavier it is, and therefore more fuel consumption. And this is well, and then also taxes have been increased based on engine sizes as well. Now I would like to discuss about what this can mean for the automotive industry. Okay, so we're gonna have fossil fuel banned. So diesel engine banned. Petrol, banned. Hybrid petrol, banned. This leaves us with electric cars and hydrogen fuel cell cars. Looks like the trophy will go to electric car manufacturers and hydrogen fuel cell car manufacturers, which appears to be only Toyota at the moment. Although if I'm correct, Hyundai has also joined in the hydrogen fuel cell business. Yes, I think they did. But you get the point, guys. What I'm trying to say here is that it's not a question of, oh, electric cars are going to capitalize, yay. No. Listen very carefully, guys. Let's first of all not talk about capitalism. Let's not talk about the barrier that's going to be invented between the people with a lot of money and the people who have to budget. No. In the automotive industry, I'm pretty optimistic there will be no such barrier. And the reason why I'm actually optimistic about this is because, listen very carefully, this is going to be 2023, the moment when the ban will be in effect. Now, today, as I'm speaking, we are 2022. Now, what about the people who are budgeting? In the automotive industry, the customers who are budgeting, they will have plentiful opportunities to buy a cheap electric car. Customers of the automotive industry will be able to purchase a used electric car. So imagine this, a used Tesla or perhaps a used Honda E. But you see what I'm talking about, guys. What I'm trying to talk about over here is that there will be a diverse amount of options for customers of the automotive industry. We're not going to be trapped. There's no such thing as capitalism or a big barrier between those that can afford such cars and those who are at the moment forced to budget. There will be no such barrier. I believe we will have plentiful choices. And also let me also point out one more thing, guys. Recently, manufacturers have even taken initiatives in building small electric cars, and I've seen these initiatives prominently taken by Stellantis and Honda. Let me give some examples, guys, and also Renault as well. Renault Zoe. The Renault Zoe was one of the earliest small electric cars ever. In fact, I believe, please excuse me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Renault Zoe was even out before Tesla. But the reason why Tesla took the trophy is because Tesla built the first ever desirable electric car that actually has the performance. Whereas the Renault Zoe was pretty much just another eco box built by France. Perhaps in collaboration with Nissan, which is a Japanese brand known for building boring eco boxes, just like every other Japanese brand. Yes, guys, there were electric cars before Tesla, but none of them were successful because of lack of desirability, like the Mitsubishi IMPHEV. I'm not sure, guys, but there was this Mitsubishi that was rebadged as a Peugeot and Citroën. It was electric. It sold briefly here in Europe, but it failed. It was a flop because here's why. It was not desirable, and many people just rolled their eyes thinking, here we go again, another eco box built by Japan, which is not attractive. And then, again, probably going to be bought by a group of people of certain stereotypes. And then we also have the Honda E, and then we also have models from Stellantis, like the Fiat 500e, or is it the E500? I reviewed it very recently. I also reviewed the Honda E, and I also reviewed the Peugeot E2008. Yes, electric crossover SUVs even. Not all electric cars are built currently by premium brands. There are also mass market brands that have taken strong initiatives. But there's one particular mass market brand that took a special initiative, and this was an initiative executed since the 90s. Toyota. They took initiatives in the hydrogen fuel cell business. They're just as interesting and just as good as electric cars. Now remember, it's all new. The Toyota Mirai is not perfect. I love the Toyota Mirai. It's a very nice car, by the way. I reviewed it as well. I have to confess, it's a very nice car, but there's still more improvements that need to be done, just like every other car. In fact, electric cars also need to have improvements. The first improvement I would just like to point out that needs to be done for electric cars and hydrogen fuel cell cars is practicality. Practicality needs to be improved. If that can be improved, and plus desirability, and plus better value for money, they dominate the market. Europe is officially theirs to dominate. Now there's one last topic I have to cover. Many of you are probably going to wonder what's going to happen in Europe after 2023. As soon as the clock ticks to 2023, whoopee, Happy New Year, yay! But where is our fossil fuel cars? Where do they go? Do they just vanish in thin air? No, they won't vanish in thin air, guys. Sad, but here's what I'm going to tell you all. 3 harsh realities. 3 things that can happen. First thing that can happen is, because they will not be allowed to drive here in Europe, they're probably going to be stashed somewhere in a garage by a car collectioner. They're just going to keep it in private, and yeah, they're just going to probably turn it into a museum or something. Or yeah, it's probable it's just going to go to a museum. There's a chance it's probably just going to end up on display somewhere, and yeah, for people to show off the good old days and how we used to break sweat to travel from A to B. Yeah, burn the rubber, show off. I can only imagine what the generation of the future is going to think of us today. Oh boy, over cars. But then, as for 2035, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. That one way I see our cars ending up is certainly in the hands of a car collectioner, or probably in the hands of a museum, where the cars will probably be restored to mint condition, but they will be idle. The second thing I can see happening to those cars is that it's a harsh reality, but it's a reality, guys. They're probably going to end up in a junkyard. They're probably going to end up in a junkyard where they will be dismantled, and their parts will be recycled for various purposes. So perhaps we're going to recycle the seats, the fabric of the seats, for further use. We're probably going to turn it into something. The metal can be also used for something, the metal of the cars. The plastics as well can be recycled. It's becoming a really sentimental topic, guys. I feel like, I don't know, I feel very odd right now. I feel a bit sad. I don't know what to say. I feel like crying, but then at the same time, it's sorry, I can't. It's just the topic of junkyards. It's just harsh but true. And now the third thing I can see happening is that these cars will still be alive. Okay, your beautiful diesel engines will still be alive, and your petrol engines as well. But not in Europe. They will not be here in Europe anymore. They'll be taken out of Europe, sent to another part of the world where they'll serve a new life. They'll have a new purpose. And yeah. So, yeah. 3 ways, guys. Either they will be ending up in a museum where they will sit like statues on display. Either they'll be sent to a junkyard where they'll be dismantled or just left there abandoned to rust and everything. Or they'll be sent to exile outside of Europe. And that's it. So what this means for the automotive industry is that now there's going to be increasing initiatives towards electric cars, hydrogen fuel cell cars, and perhaps we're going to find even more solutions. Now, before I finish, guys, I just want to say to you all, there's nothing to panic. There's nothing to panic about. And contrary to some beliefs, I believe there's not going to be a social division created by this development. No social division is going to occur. We should not panic. We have to take it easy. Now, some of you will say this is easily said than done. But here's where I say it's hard for me to say this as well. I love fossil fuel cars, but then it's not a question of wants, it's a question of needs. It's not a question just to please the environment. We have to take we have to respect environmental initiatives, and these have been executed by even people in power. These have been executed by the European Union itself, which means this is serious business. And these have been acted upon the statistics harvested by experts who have been monitoring these developments for the past decades. So we're not bluffing, we are not joking, we are actually we are seeing that something serious is happening. I humbly apologize to anyone who has been offended by what I said in this video. I apologize if I got an information wrong. Please don't hesitate to comment. Say something to me. Say it. If there's something wrong I must have said, I apologize. But whatever I said is what I've read, okay? I've read many sources discussing about this. I was shocked to the core. I saw it on a newspaper. What? 2035? They're gonna ban fossil fuels? I was shocked. I refused to believe it. I refused to believe it. But okay, I verified those informations. I went to the internet, I looked at multiple sources, and sources from around the world have been discussing the same thing. They have confirmed that Europe has taken initiatives that have been irrevocable, that they are going to ban diesel engines and they're going to ban fossil fuel cars by 2035. American sources have discussed about this, and I just want to repeat one last thing, guys. There is no such wall or barrier between the people who can buy premium and the people who have to budget. No, there will be no such wall in the automotive industry. To buy premium is wonderful, but to buy budget is also wonderful. Isn't it wonderful to be financially stable, everyone? But it's not also a question of finance. I understand very well that you believe electric cars are expensive, but remember, today we are 2022. In the future, we are talking 13 years. It'll be 2035, and that will be the moment. We will be prepared. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, everyone. And stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, and don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews and discussion videos and travel videos. Thank you and goodbye.